Donald Trump is returning to politics after having narrowly escaped death in a shooting at a campaign rally over the weekend. The former US president is in Milwaukee, Wisconsin for the Republican National Convention, where he's set to be declared the party's presidential candidate. His supporters have been gathering outside the venue to welcome him. Trump has called for unity, but said that he'll remain defiant. The FBI is investigating the assassination attempt as potential domestic terrorism, but has yet to identify a motive. President Joe Biden has held a televised address urging Americans to cool down their rhetoric and to resolve their issues at the ballot box.
For an attempted assassination on Donald Trump, there is no place in America for this kind of violence, or for any violence ever. Period. No exceptions. We can't allow this violence to be normalized. You know, the political record in this country has gotten very heated. It's time to cool it down. We all have a responsibility to do that. Yes, we have deeply felt strong disagreements. The stakes in this election are enormously high. I've said it many times that the choice in this election we make in this election is going to shape the future of America and the world for decades to come. I believe that with all my soul. I know that millions of my fellow Americans believe it as well. And some have a different view as to the direction our country should take. Disagreement is inevitable in American democracy. It's part of human nature. But politics must never be a literal battlefield, or God forbid, a killing field.
As Republican Party delegates gather in Milwaukee for the convention, many of them are convinced that the failed assassination attempt has boosted Donald Trump's chances of winning the presidential election. DW's Ines Paul spoke to some Trump supporters who believe the former president has emerged stronger than ever.
The atmosphere this time is different from former years. There is a palpable sense of insecurity, and the attempted assassination of Donald Trump and its consequences are dominating the conversation.
They've tried to put him in jail, and that didn't work, so now somebody tries to take his life. And I feel like that he's going to come back stronger than ever.
This was not just an attack on a political person, a political party. It was an attack on an American.
As you could see from the attempt, that he still thought about the people first. He's a wonderful man. He's a faith, family, and freedom president. And that's what we need right now in our country.
Thank God Trump turned his head at the right time under the direction of the Holy Spirit, and the bullet missed and just grazed him. I predict Trump will win California, New York, and every state. I can't imagine any state wouldn't vote against him at this point.
I think God is in control, and I think he's going to watch over us, so I'm not really worried about it, or otherwise I wouldn't be here today.
This is the arena where delegates from all states gather to select their candidate and also celebrate the nominee. It is a bit of a coronation spectacle in this republic that takes pride in freeing itself from the crown.
The debate over whether he will be able to secure enough votes is over, and there is no doubt that Donald Trump will deliver his acceptance speech on Thursday on the stage right here behind me.
The tone of his speech will significantly influence how his supporters react to the attempted assassination, with composure or anger.
Stormy-Annika Mildner is director of the Aspen Institute Germany, a US think tank here in Berlin. What sort of campaign tone will the Republicans set today?
So first of all, this attempted assassination on Trump comes at a time where the political debates are already very heated, as we also heard in Biden's speech yesterday. The tone has been fierce for a month, and this is a deeply divided society. So for both campaigns, the Biden campaign and also the Trump campaign, it is now really important to find the right tone to calm down the situation and to prevent that there will be more violence on the ground. So we heard that clearly in Biden's speech yesterday, but Trump as well called for unity. So in the party convention, which today starts for the Republicans, I would expect that Trump will also be more presidential and will again call for calmness. But at the same time, I would expect that some of the Republicans who have already fueled some of the conspiracy theories will continue doing so. And I would also expect that Trump will fuel some of the narratives which he had pushed forward over the last month and will appear as strong candidate as he already did in all those pictures which are currently going around the world after the attempted assassination.
So it doesn't sound like US politics is expected to become any calmer in the coming days.
I think it is going to be very difficult for both camps to calm down. I expect that the conspiracy theories which we are currently seeing being spread, that is going to continue. And given the deep divide in the society, it would be almost, I would say, naive to expect that the country really now rallies around the flag and unites. We have to consider that for decades, there is a deep divide between progressives and conservatives, between left and right of the spectrum, but also geographically between poor and rich. And this division goes so deep that people from one camp perceive the people of the other not as people who have a different opinion, but who are really almost the enemy. And to expect that this can be overcome within just a few days, I think that would be very naive. So what would be best if both the former president and the current president came together and asked together for more calmness and understanding in the society. But given the campaign, I can't see this.
Okay. How would you say the US is dealing with the shock of what happened over the weekend?
So what Biden is currently doing, and he did so in 2 speeches yesterday, he is asking for calmness, and he has also already asked for 2 investigations. First, the investigation of the security gaps in the campaign rally, and he also promised to look into the security for the Republican convention to make sure that this is really sufficient to secure or to be secure for candidate Trump. And I think this is pretty much all he can do at the current stage. He also said that he would put a stop to some of the campaign ads, which are very aggressive towards Trump, but it is going to be a damper for the campaign. But as a president, what he really needs to do now is not campaign, but to provide the stability for his country.
And with all eyes on the US right now, how stable is its political system, would you say?
I think it has shown also over the last 4 years that the United States is very stable, despite everything what is going on. I mean, we have been closely following the court cases against Trump, but at the other hand, over the last 3 years, the Biden administration was able to bring through Congress several really big legislations on infrastructure, on investment, Inflation Reduction Act. So the governing was very strong over the last 3 years. And we see that also in the transatlantic relationship, where the relationship improved massively over the last 3 years. And we saw that specifically in the case of how to counter Russia's invasion of Ukraine. So although everybody certainly is currently looking at the United States and is also worried, I think the governing is going to be and continues to be stable.
Some upsides there from Stormy-Annika Mildner, Director of the Aspen Institute Germany.
Thank you.